Hello everybody, today I've got a video for you of some cars from Australian Cars, the collection. They go back over, well, a few weeks now. They're released every fortnight and one just got released the other day, so I guess 2 months. The first one is number 46. It's the Leyland P76 of 1973. It's the Italian-styled V8 sedan. Yeah, the motor was originally a Buick motor. It's a Rover motor, but the version used in the Leyland P76, instead of being 3.5 litres used in Range Rovers and Triumphs and the like, that was a 3.5. The P76 used a 4.4 litre version. And the interesting part of that is they were all alloy. An interior shot with the dashboard and I guess sport steering wheel. Front and back shot. The 47V Coupe, or hatchback even, was a vehicle that would have got made, but due to financial troubles by British Motor Corporation, which eventually led to the end of the Leyland P76, which is a shame. The 47, they actually had already made 50 bodies at the time of the announcement of the closure. And 8 of them survived, but the rest got crushed, which is a shame. They weren't a bad-looking car either. One entered the Targa Florio Rally in Italy and did quite well. And, well, it says Sicilian, so perhaps I better not mess with that. The Leyland P76, one of their advertising things was it could carry a 44-gallon drum in the boot, which is, yeah, an interesting idea, but, I mean, why you'd want to carry a 44-gallon drum in the boot of your sedan, I don't know. Because the weight of the thing, if it was full of oil, I mean, it wouldn't be easy to get in and out of the boot. But it is quite common these days to see somebody with a P76 at a car show. They'll have a 44-gallon drum in the boot. In 2013, an 81-year-old fellow named Jerry Crown, he drove a rally-prepared version of the P76. to victory in the 2013 Peking to Paris Classic. So that's pretty good. Yeah, the single headlight front as found on the 6-cylinder. They were quite popular as a taxi too, because like the Ford, Holden and Valiant of the day, they had quite big interiors. In blue. Yeah, I won't go through all the magazine. Various road reports of the day, road tests, I should say. The model itself's in yellow. It's a nice representation of the real thing. The hubcaps are really accurate. I'd assume the badging is as well, but I'd need a magnifying glass. There's the New South Wales number plate because Leyland's factory was at Zetland in the suburb of Sydney. And yeah, that's the Leyland P76. And I think IXO have done a really nice job with it, and the yellow's a great colour choice. It's a Holden EJ special sedan from 1963. The popular four-door compact. Station wagon version, various magazine articles included from Wheels magazine. A center console, but it's a column shift. In today's terms, the dashboard is very basic, but for back in the day, that would have been quite, typical of what a dashboard had. This one was fitted with a steering wheel lock, which would have been a novelty back then. Ooh, heater. With fresh air in summer, so no air conditioning. That wasn't a thing back in the day. A convertible version of the EJ someone created. Yeah. So that's the EJ. The model itself in this bone colour with white roof. South Australian number plates, great badging on the car, hubcaps as usual on point. You can't really notice the badging here so much, but it is quite good on the actual model. Yeah, another great model from IXO. From Australian Cars, the collection, number 48, is the Toyota Land Cruiser, the HJ75 cab chassis from 1985. Not an Australian-made vehicle, tool of the trade, but it is a vehicle that is used a lot in Australia. One you don't see too much these days is the short wheelbase version. I did see one on the back of a tilt tray tow truck a couple of months ago. Looked like it had been restored because it was in really good condition, but it had been a very long time since I seen one of those. Unlike the earlier FJ40 series, you'd seen loads of those. Even today, you still see them getting around. But these are the various versions of the HJ75 you could get. You could get short wheelbase, petrol, diesel motors, various options, couple of troop carriers, a ute, couple of cab chassis you could add a steel tray to, and some would have had alloy trays. A Japanese spec station wagon, something we never got in Australia back then, but something we got in later years. That's a more modern looking version. From 2007 though, actually looks later than that to me. And then it goes into the history of the ute in Australia, which began with Ford's Coupe Utility from 1934 that Lewis Bant, B-A-N-D-T, he actually owned one of these that he restored, and unfortunately he died in that vehicle in a car crash. But Ford's since repaired that vehicle, and it was part of Ford Australia's collection that they had in the Ford Heritage Museum, or Discovery Museum, I should say. Yeah, they look really good done up. Some various other utes from Holden, the 48-215, Ford's mainline coupe utility. Yeah, but anyway, it's about the Land Cruiser. So Let's get the Land Cruiser out. Once again, a really nice model by IXO. I think they've got this pretty well down pat. This has got New South Wales number plates by the look as well. The only thing I'd question is the angle of the tray. It looks like it's angled down, which is a bit unusual. But I did look at 4 other models that were at my newsagent, and they were all identical, so it wasn't a fault with my particular model. It's something that I think's, I don't know, it may not be a fault, but to me, the tray and the sides should be straight, not angled down. But other than that, it's a well done model. The wheels look to be a good copy of the steel wheel, which had split rims. The grille looks spot on. The little indicators at the side. The windscreen wipers look great. The side mirrors. Just a generally good all-round model. I mean, as I say, they're a Japanese vehicle, but a huge part of Australia because, or the Australian motoring industry, the motoring history, because, I mean, so many farmers use these, tradesmen, mining companies. Very popular. These are, I won't say were, because they are still very popular. And this shape, if it's not still being made, it only finished production not long ago, so it had a lifespan of 40 years. It had various updates over the years mechanically and on that side of things, but on the interior, not much changed. No electric windows, wind-up windows, so you don't have to worry about replacing the electric motor when that fails, because they do after so many years of use. So, has been experienced by people that have owned one long term, a vehicle with electric windows. Anyway, another great model from IXO. I'll draw to a conclusion of the video. Once again, 3 totally different types of automobile. I guess the Holden and the Leyland are related because both passenger sedans. One from an Australian company, but owned by General Motors in the USA, so Leyland, a British company, but unique to Australia because Leyland didn't make that vehicle in England. It was designed for Australia. So that one definitely deserves a spot in Australian Cars the Collection. The Toyota Land Cruiser, even though it's Japanese, as I said, it's a big part of the Australian motoring history because so many of them have been sold and are used in Australia and will probably last for years to come too, because they're a pretty rugged old vehicle. Well, if you got one from 1985, it's 41 years old now. But Toyota make bulletproof mechanicals, engines, gearbox, transfer case, diffs, and just solid construction. So yeah, that's why they last so long. They don't fall apart. Yeah, so anyway, I think, yeah, three diverse sorts of vehicles, all with their own place in the Australian motoring industry. And all well done by IXO once again. So, I'd like to thank you for viewing the video. Hope you're all well. Goodbye.